All right, everybody, welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast presented by. Today, I'm joined by my main man, David Casper. We're going to talk some NBA awards as the season comes to an end. We're going to go through the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, Sixth Man of the Year, and Coach of the Year. So we'll get into it. So what's going on, David? How you feeling?
I'm chilling.
All right, we'll start. With the MVP.
So MVP, I got a list of names that I think we can probably agree on most of them that they're in the candidacy. I think some of them kind of lost their spot, but we can still go over them. So I think, and this is no particular order, not a rank. This is just the names. So in my list of MVP candidates, I got Jokic, Embiid, LeBron, Giannis, Luka, Tatum, D-Book, Ja, and DeMar DeRozan.
Okay.
And I think some of those names we can definitely I think it's safe to take them off the list at this point. But
all right, let me give you my top five. This is my top five. I know a lot of you might have something different, but I'll give
it in order.
Yeah, I'll start from five and go down to my winner. I think this is just I'll give a little explanation just real quick. So I got at five, I have Booker. I mean, they got the best record in the NBA by far. He's the best player on that team. It's really performing for them. I think if he wasn't top five, that would be concerning just because of how good the Suns are. You gotta think, all right, they're the best team. He's the best player. He's got to be in that conversation. I don't think he'll win it, but he's got to be there. So then on four, I have Tatum after a second half surge and a pretty good first half of the year. I think he's really surged into this conversation overall. So I have Tatum at four. And then three, I have Giannis. He's going to be
this is controversial already.
He's going to be a yearly candidate for the MVP, just because of how good he is. Then two, I actually have Embiid. I know he's the favorite, but I just think somebody who is on they're supposed to have a stacked team and they're the 4 seed right now. I don't think you can really call him the MVP. But and then number one, I have Jokic, who I saw play live last week in Washington, and I have been a huge Jokic stan since then, and I really see the magic he pulls off on the court. I'll give some brief explanations on the couple that I don't think Luka's in the conversation just because I don't think the Mavs are good enough for Luka to be in the conversation. LeBron should not even be close to the conversation just because of how bad the Lakers are. Those are empty stats. Because if you think about it, if let's say if Shai Gilgeous was averaging 30 on the Thunder, nobody would be like, that dude deserves an MVP vote. And then DeMar has kind of been up and down throughout the season, so it's hard to put him in that conversation.
I'll get into my top five. At number five, I have Jason Tatum because his rise to superstardom is just ridiculous. Obviously we're from New England, so we are Celtics fans, but I don't think anybody can deny the stuff he's doing. When I watch Tatum play, it's not even just that he's scoring a lot of points, it's he's coming down, hitting a three, next possession, another three. I saw him against the Kings, 3 straight possessions with a three, and then the 4th possession was a foul away from the ball, and he hit a fadeaway like Bird did, and he made it, and it was all net every single time. I don't know what got into him.
His defense is also really improved.
True, he's top net rating in defense. He is the best net rating in the NBA right now, which is crazy. At number 4, I actually do have Luka because people can say what they want about the Mavericks. The Mavericks are 46-29. The Bucks and Sixers are 46-28. So they're half a game behind them if you want to compare them. I know it's different conferences, but
yeah,
they're also the 4th seed in the West.
You got to think the Mavs, they play in the Western Conference, so they're playing, and I think the East is better this year. So it's hard to compare records that way, but I just think
he also has the best head-to-head matchup. He has the best head-to-head matchup with Booker, Tatum, Embiid, Jokic, and Ja this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's his team just has the best record while he's playing against them.
I would have him at 6. I just think it's hard to put him above some of those guys.
I was tempted to put him higher. I think 4 is solid. I had him at 2 for a second, and I was like, that might be too high because they have been unreal since the All-Star break. Number 3, I know people are talking about Embiid here and there. Like I understand he's having an insanely good season, but I don't think he's like playing. I think he's playing just as well as the top 2 guys, but it's not the same. Like his defensive impact is there. His usage percentage is insane. It's 37.5%. Like that's coming from NBA.com. And Westbrook set the record with 41.5. So he's like right up there with Westbrook, like his MVP year. That's crazy. I think with Harden and with the quality of the Sixers overall this year, I think Doc Rivers has always been a good regular season coach for the most part. I think that factors into it. But I still have Giannis at number 2. I think Giannis is the best player in the NBA. If everyone's healthy, I still don't think you can stop him in any way. And he just improves every year. His defensive impact is ridiculous. His scoring this year has increased. Like he's just so consistent all around. And he's averaging like 6 assists a game now as a power forward. And he's having a ton of triple doubles with big numbers.
Yeah, Giannis,
and his team's winning. His team's winning too. Like him and the Sixers and Bucks have the same record, but
honestly, if it wasn't for voter fatigue, he'd probably be he'd probably be the MVP, to be honest with you. And that's why I think it might go to Embiid just because of voter fatigue, and like Jokic won it last year, so they may not go back to back. But Jokic is my number 1. So I'm assuming
Jokic is also my number 1. It's gonna sound controversial, but he is like the most effortless basketball player I think I've ever seen.
It is. Dude.
Like him and Durant. I think Durant's number 1. I think Jokic is under that. But dude, every time I turn on a game and I watch Jokic play, like it doesn't matter what the score is, I think he can pull off a comeback. Like I was watching the game when they played the Sixers. I turn it on, they're down like 20 something, and I'm like, I don't know. Jokic can pull this off.
Watching
couple threes, couple dunks, that crazy pass to end the half, got a dunk for Will Barton. And they ended up winning that. They won that game.
Watching him read the floor is some of the most incredible basketball I've ever seen. Just being at the game, it's even more incredible in person than on TV. And he's my favorite.
He's like Warden, but like good. He moves just like him. He's got the same little aneurysms.
We'll have to clip that and send it to him.
You should. He's got the same little aneurysms, that little uncle jog.
All right, so we'll move on to Defensive Player of the Year. We'll kind of go through this one a little faster. Mine's pretty controversial. My top 3. Actually, I'll give you my top 4 just because I want to. Before I got Smart, I think his defensive impact is greater than any guard in the league, and I think if a guard's gonna win it anytime soon, it's gonna be him. 3, a little controversial. Rudy Gobert. People can say it's voter fatigue. I think he's not having the defensive impact, especially after watching the Celtics just pick them apart. Jaron Jackson's at my 2. He's really kind of had a coming out season defensively and offensively, as the Grizzlies have been much better. And my controversial winner is Robert Williams. Dude's having an incredible season. He has the best. He's hurt, right? He just got hurt, which kind of stinks, but he has the highest defensive rating in the league, second by 0.1 in blocks per game. He's second in total blocks this season. He's averaging close to a steal a game. He's completely impacted he's completely changed the Celtics defense this season and his just presence in that paint scares offensive players into missing shots. Even if he can't get his hand on it, he's making people miss. So that's why he's my winner.
I'm gonna correct you on that. His defensive rating in the NBA is number 8, but all the guys in front of him are not like defensive player of the year.
2 days ago.
Yeah, like you have to. That's also like a stat. You have to like the thing with awards is you kind of like the analytics part's cool because you can take that into account for what they do, but you also got to use like pure stats like points, rebounds, assists, how many wins you have, and then you also got to do the eye test, which is a huge thing with Jokic and like Giannis and Luka and Tatum and guys like that. Now even LeBron, like you can watch LeBron and sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. Like he's obviously had those low lights this year where he's just like not doing like defense or anything, but like Number one in defensive ratings, Landry Shamet. Is anyone voting for him?
Yeah. Okay. So maybe it might be like with players who like actually play. Then he was first because it was like showing like it might have been like first for players that play over a certain amount of minutes. Maybe.
No, yeah, I know. I was putting that out there for the sake
All right.
of like.
So your top guys?
So at number 5, I have Jaron Jackson. I think he's an underrated gem. I think the Grizzlies need him. I think I don't want to say he's just as important as Ja because I think the whole argument that the Grizzlies are better without him, I think that's stupid. Because like any team, if they're missing their star player, no matter how good your record is, you're gonna want them on your team. It's like there's been times where what was it? Like when KD, Kyrie, and Harden all played together, like they were way better with Harden and not the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they wanted to play without KD and Kyrie when they had James Harden?
Yeah.
No. Like I don't think it's a dumb argument. I
mean,
reason,
no, I meant no, but I meant yeah, I understand.
I know what you mean. I think at 4 and 5, I have at number 4, I have Smart and Williams like tied.
Yeah.
So I think either one could get it. Robert Williams is a huge part of the defensive impact of the Celtics. I don't think it's all him. I think he sets the tone.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that leadership defensively goes to Smart, which is kind of why I have him up there too. At number 3, I got Roddy Gobert. Like, he's in the conversation every year. If you don't have him in the conversation every year, you just don't watch basketball because he's unreal. He gets picked apart on the wings. That's his problem. But he's also a 7-footer that's meant to stand in the paint. That's what he does. That's like saying you want Mark Eaton to go guard.
And that's why
Michael Jordan.
That's why I have Robert Williams ahead of him this year. It's just because Robert Williams has been able to guard around the perimeter.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm just giving a comparison. It's like when Mark Eaton won it. You want Mark Eaton guarding Michael Jordan, or do you want him in the paint?
I get what you're saying. Exactly. So who's
your number 2? I have Bam.
All right.
Because Bam is like, to me, he's an upgrade to Robert Williams. It's like everything Robert Williams is good at, Bam's good at. Bam's got a little bit softer touch around the rim, I think. His jumper is a little bit better, obviously. His IQ, I would say, is a little bit better. He knows how to make a good read on a pass, but part of that's coaching. Part of that's Spoelstra and not Udoka. Udoka's obviously first-year coach. And at number 1, I still have Giannis. I think he's the best defensive player in the league. I think he can do it like Gobert, and I think
a lot of people forget about him.
I think he can do it on the wing and he can do it in the paint. Either one. Doesn't matter. Whatever you ask him to do defensively, he's going to do it. And
there are a lot of good – I feel like this year there's like a lot more – or there's a lot better defenders, like a lot more contenders for this award than there usually are.
Because like even think about it.
Usually you have like the 1, 2, or 3 guys that are awesome defenders that you can put in this conversation. This year I can probably come up with about like 8 just off the top of my head that I feel like
even Old Faithful, like Draymond Green, he's healthy.
Yeah. Draymond Green,
he's
you can
unreal.
Put Jared Allen.
Most underrated defender ever. I think he is like one of the greatest defenders. No, Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Watching, he has breaks 3-on-1 and he messes up the whole thing.
Honestly,
it's insane.
I think he was the favorite before he got hurt. Then
definitely was at some point. Yeah.
Sure. Let's go on.
And even just to end the defensive player of the year, you got the subtle names like Tatum and Brown. They're hooping defensively.
Derek White has been awesome. Like all that. Like,
oh God, what's his name?
Who?
Who's the dude on the Spurs?
DeJounte Murray. Yeah,
exactly.
He's in there.
So tough.
Rookie of the year. So you got a bunch of names here. I think the winner is pretty clear though, but like I mean you've had names like Scottie Barnes make some runs at this award throughout the year. He's helped Toronto. Cade Cunningham has made a push for it late. Giddey was good before he got hurt. Herbert Jones has been pretty good.
He turned it on. Is that the guy on the Pelicans?
What?
Is he the one on the Pelicans? Yeah, he turned it on.
There's another one. There's another one I'm forgetting, but you know what I mean. And my winner is Evan Mobley, and then I have Cade in second, Scottie in third. I think Evan Mobley, has completely changed the way that Cavs team has played, which will help. Actually, that statement will transition me into my most important most improved player. So, If you want to get, or I'm assuming you have Mobley.
Yeah, I mean, most of it's the same. I told my friends I think Mobley's gonna win Rookie of the Year from the day he got drafted. The potential there is insane. I actually got Scottie Barnes at number 2. So I think Scottie Barnes is interesting to me because he can be inconsistent scoring the ball, but like rebounding and defense and like passing the ball, like his IQ is.
The Celtics are playing him right now, and he's guarding our guards like very well. Even though we're hospital Celtics.
Yeah, like even clips of him in high school and college, you can see it. Like people are terrified to dribble on him. And then I got
his
Cade.
Build is crazy, but yeah.
Number 3, I got Cade and Giddey tied.
Yeah.
Because obviously Cade turned it up late.
Giddey's been out for a while, so I think
Giddey's been but when Giddey's playing, he's so solid.
Yeah.
Like he's so consistent. I mean, his jumper is kind of whack. He's got to work on that. Like it just looks funky.
Yeah.
Like, he hits them sometimes, but he's got to work on it. Besides that, though, like he's so tough.
So now let's get into the most improved player. And everyone, I'm just gonna preface my thing. Everyone's putting Ja Morant in, like winning this. He probably will win it just because that's what everyone's saying. But my thing is, he was good last year. I don't know. Like the Grizzlies have made a big step, but like he was good last year. I think it's hard to put the most improved player for someone who is like that good last year, and like he went from a star to like a borderline superstar. So it's kind of hard for me to give him that award. So I'm going with the guy, like I said, in Cleveland, Darius Garland. He's completely changed like from last year. Last year he was like he was completely irrelevant. The Cavs are completely irrelevant. This year they're without Sexton, and he's turned the Cavs into they were like a top seed in the East for a while, and now they were
top 2 at one point, right?
They're the 6 right now. And
but they're gonna make the playoffs.
He's leading that team. Yeah, no, they are. But he's leading that team. He's having a great season. He was an all-star this year, right? Like he went from not barely even being talked about to an all-star. That for me, that is the most improved player. Like going from irrelevant to very relevant is in my book. And then I have Ja Morant just because he's in the conversation. Then I go 3rd, DeJounte Murray, who's having a great season. And then 4th, Miles Bridges, who's also having a pretty good season.
Shout out to Jarrett Allen too, though.
Yeah,
Jarrett Allen.
I just think what Jarrett Allen's doing is stuff.
He should have been I think he should have been an all-star right off the bat.
Yeah, but he's doing stuff that he's done like his whole career, and now people are just like seeing it because the Cavs are relevant. Like
but he's the huge part of the team's success.
Oh yeah, no, he is
different. It's
I probably have him next on the list.
So obviously my most improved player is Ja, and I kind of disagree with you because let me read you some numbers, dude. So last year he averaged 19, 7.5, and 4, and I don't know what his usage percentage is. Let me check that really quick. That was last year. And then usage percentage last year, about 27%. Mm-hmm. This year, his usage has gone up a ton, almost 34. It's 33.8. And I just saw this today, but did you know Ja's averaging 27.6 points a game?
Yep. Yeah, I saw that.
That's insane. I didn't realize he was scoring so many points. Like, dude, that's a huge change. Like, assist-wise, yeah, he's down a little bit. But rebounds, he's gone up almost 2 rebounds. He's over a steal now. I mean, the blocks isn't really changed. The huge thing for me is...
But he's the franchise player, and he's the franchise player last year. He won Rookie of the Year. It's hard to go from Rookie of the Year. Like, I feel like it's hard to give a guy who was, like, already, like, known for being good, and now he's, like, very good. Like,
I don't think that's fair. We did that with Luka, though. What? Did they end up they didn't end up giving most improved to Luka, though, did they?
I don't think I don't think they did, but he shouldn't have won it.
Well, like the year he was supposed to get it, he literally told the NBA, he's like, "Don't give me this award. I'm not going to accept it. Give it to Devontae Graham."
Yeah.
But Luka should have won it. He went from all-star to superstar. Like it was he went from like star rookie to a superstar player. That's what Ja's doing right in front of us. Like I kind of see what you mean. I think,
but like though, I feel like the award, if it's gonna start going to like people who go from like star to superstar, it's just like nobody that's not like that is ever going to get recognized. Somebody's had like such an awesome season and turned around his team completely, like Darius Garland has, is never going to get recognized because he's not going to be an MVP candidate ever. Like most likely, I don't want to say ever, but like with guys like Giannis, Jokic, and all those, Tatum in the league, and Luka, like he's never going to be like in that conversation. So like that award is for guys like that.
I just think that's like such a toss up because like I remember
it is.
I forget what year it was. Like one of Brandon Knight's last years in Milwaukee, they were talking about it on TNT, and it was like him and Brandon Jennings were like in the racing for All-Star. And Charles Barkley, I remember it because Charles Barkley was like, I put Brandon Jennings and Brandon Knight in because these guys will never have the chance to be All-Stars again. Mm-hmm. Which is cool because like you want to see it. You want to see the different names in the All-Star game. But like compared to the other guys, yeah, they shouldn't have been there. Like Ja is like All-Star to superstar is huge. He wasn't even an All-Star last year.
But I also have a hard time calling him a superstar just because it's been 1 year.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
Like you have to string
a superstar season.
Yeah, like I wouldn't call. I'd call Tatum like borderline superstar just because like this is probably about his second season of putting up awesome numbers, like second or third season, and I would call him like he's just entering that superstar range just because he's starting to put it together for a bunch of years now. And John Morant's still young. I'm not saying John Morant's not going to be there, but he will. But like you never know, like he could have like a career-ending injury like tomorrow, and like especially with the way he plays with like the D Rose like effect, like with but so now do you want to go 6th man of the year? I feel like we've
I'll just throw it in really quick. I had Miles Bridges number 2 for mine. Those were my top 2. It was one or the other. I think it's no, he's up there too. I think in terms of how you're talking about the award, like I just think Miles Bridges went to like role player starter that no one cares about to like borderline All-Star. I think Darius Garland and him
went from like role player to All-Star. So
well, like what I'm saying is like they're like the same type of like improvement to me. Like obviously Darius is like the level up though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they improved like the same in different levels.
Yeah.
Like Miles Bridges got his name out there. Darius Garland like got his name out there in a different way though. Like people knew who Darius Garland was. People knew he was going to be good. Like his potential was crazy. Miles Bridges was at kind of like a point where you're like, all right, he's got potential, but when's he going to figure it out? Like when's he going to do something with it? I think LaMelo Ball is a huge part of that. Like I think their chemistry is great.
All right, so 6th man of the year. This one's pretty straightforward. It's obviously Harrow. I mean, he's averaging 20.9 off the bench. He's having a great season. He's really helped the Heat off create some scoring off the bench, especially with that team who's actually struggled to put the ball in the hoop but they've been a great defensive team. So he's been a nice spark off the bench. Then second, I'd probably have Clarkson because I just think he's like an annual like 6th man of the year.
Like he's Jamal Lou Williams type.
Yeah, he's just a great scorer off the bench for the Jazz. Oubre is my third. He's averaging 15.9 off the bench for the Hornets. And then fourth, this one might be a little debatable. I have Kevin Love. Because K Love's really like been a nice leader and like even producer off the bench for that Cavs team that's really shown out this season. So those are mine. I think Harrow's the obvious winner. So I don't know if you have anything different, but
I mean, it's like sounds bad to say, but Hero's playing the best on the Heat. Like he's playing like the best player. Like Jimmy Butler is just struggling right now. We all know.
Isn't he shooting like 9% from 3?
It's bad.
All-Star break.
But like, it's Jimmy Butler though. Like if he does pretty good in the playoffs this year, I'll be like, all right, he just had like a little cold spell. Because sometimes guys do that.
The Heat are falling apart right now.
What I would hate to see is Jimmy Butler fall into like the Baron Davis, Gilbert Arenas category, where like they were super tough and then they just like started falling off slowly. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's got to be Hero. Like,
Yeah.
he's crazy. Like, yeah, it's watching him. He should be in most improved conversation too, honestly, because he's going from like I heard his name around All-Star a little bit. I didn't think he was ever gonna make it this year at least, but still, like,
Yeah.
he's like paving a new wave for six
Well,
man.
he
And
can
then,
start on that team, but they just choosing to keep.
oh yeah, obviously.
Um.
But
Yeah.
I got Oubre, Love, and then obviously Clarkson, Montrezl Harrell up there a little bit. Just casual 6-man every year vibes. But.
All right. Coach of the year, last one. Monty Williams is the favorite for this, I think. I have him at second, and my winner is the Memphis coach, Taylor Jenkins. I think that Memphis team's been a huge surprise this year. I think they're second in the West right now. He's really coached them up, I think. And I think we referenced it earlier, their record without Jaws 16-2. I think that's a huge reflection of the coach, just being able to like adjust to when guys are out. And being able to flip a team that I don't even think they were in the playoffs last year, borderline playoff team, kind of playing guy team into a top seed in the West. I think that's a reflection on the coach as much as the players. So I think he deserves this more than anyone. Monty Williams obviously is coaching the best team in the league right now, but as if you're coming from a coaching point, I think Taylor Jenkins is coaching up Memphis more than Monty Williams is coaching up Phoenix. Not discrediting Monty Williams. I think he's
no. Yeah, I got you.
But I think Taylor Jenkins has done a great job with that Grizzlies squad. And real quick, I want to put Ime Udoka in third just because of
Oh yeah, he's got to get some. He has to get some recognition.
Especially we're first in the East right now.
It's not even biased anymore.
He's got to be he's changed this team. He's the defensive mind behind it all. And I think, and even offensively, people keep saying the Celtics team's a great defensive team. They were actually second in defensive net rating and first in offensive net rating in the last month. So that's my spiel for Ime for third and coach of the year.
Damn, we're so nasty. That's lit. Yeah, so same thing. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know all the coaches' names. I know Monty Williams. I don't know the Grizzlies coach's name. What's his name? Taylor
Jenkins.
And if someone's watching this, don't talk bad about me like that. I just don't know the coach's name, so I don't pay attention to that. But Grizzlies coach, Suns coach, obviously. I think Ime's up there. But I want to give a shout out to. Let me look up who it is right quick because I want to get his name right.
Cavs coach?
Chris Finch, the Timberwolves coach.
Oh, okay.
Because the Timberwolves were so bad last year. And he completely unlocked Cat this year. Mm-hmm. I think part of that was Cat kind of just being you know what, I do this. And all the kind of outside attention that he's been having in the world. Obviously, his mom passed away. Mm-hmm. He's got personal stuff going on. But I think it's important to look at their coach because, Anthony Edwards was borderline all-star. He was unreal. D'Lo's he's looking better, and Cat's playing unreal. And then I'd probably give a shout out to
the Celtics. Then they look like.
I'd give a shout out to is Rick, who coaches the Mavericks? It's not Rick Carlisle anymore, right?
No, he's in Indiana now. It's Kidd.
Oh yeah, Jason Kidd. He gets a little honorable mention. I don't like Jason Kidd, but he's doing a good job. So
so I mean, that's all I got for this episode. But if you got any final words,
6th man of the year, honorable mention, Anthony Simons.
Yeah,
not 6th man of the year. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's what I was going
to definitely needs some recognition. He's been turning it on.
A lot of these Celtics players should end up in this conversation, especially Defensive Player of the Year. And if they're not, I will be boycotting the NBA. I think. I
will burn TD Garden. Not actually. That's a joke.
We'll burn NBA headquarters to the ground.
Yeah. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke.
It's a joke. All right. So that's all I got for tonight. Thanks, David, for hopping on.
Yeah, it was fun. It's been a while since I was on it, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm on it again soon. Anything NBA, I'm there.
We'll get you back soon. No. This episode was brought to you by Celsius. Go check them out. Quality drink for your workouts. So go check them out. Thanks everyone.
True.
Thanks everyone for listening. We will talk to you next time.